So you've heard of Bitcoin, right? Perhaps you even own some Bitcoin. But what if you want to buy a new car with Bitcoin? You could probably find a dealership somewhere willing to accept Bitcoin. Chances are it won't be in your city. But if you're like most people and you want to buy a car from your local dealership, could you pay in Bitcoin? Most likely not. Why would the local dealership turn away your Bitcoin? In a word, volatility. The price of Bitcoin is extremely volatile. This brings potential upside, but also transfers a lot of risk to the dealership. Let's say you find a dealership willing to accept your Bitcoin for a car that costs $50,000 US. You send the dealership $50,000 US in Bitcoin. And then a few hours later, the price of Bitcoin dips. The Bitcoin you paid them is now worth only $46,000. The dealership lost $4,000 of value in just a few hours. See the problem? Why not offer the dealership another cryptocurrency, like a stablecoin? Tether is a popular stablecoin designed to trade one-to-one with the US dollar. But if your stablecoin is worth the same as the local currency anyway, what's the point? At least Bitcoin offers the dealership the potential for upside. But there's no incentive for the dealership to accept a stablecoin. Enter Centric. Centric offers a cryptocurrency that's great for consumers, for car dealerships, and for any other business too. Why? Because Centric is solving both the volatility problems and the adoption problems faced by other cryptocurrencies. Centric does this with a two-token model, combining the upside of Bitcoin with the stability of a stablecoin. Meet Centric Swap, CNS, and Centric Rise, CNR. Centric Swap is a cryptocurrency designed to eventually trade at $1. Centric Rise is a cryptocurrency that rises in value every hour. Anyone who holds either Centric Swap or Centric Rise can convert between the two tokens on demand. Why would you want to do that? Well, if you're holding Centric Swap, you can convert your Centric Swap to Centric Rise and take advantage of the hourly growth. That's right. Every hour, Centric Rise is worth slightly more than it was the previous hour. And every time the price of Centric Rise increases, the available supply decreases. Think of Centric Rise like a collector car, an old Ford Mustang. Let's say Ford produced 20,000 units of one of the early Ford Mustang models. Where are all those cars today? Most are no longer in circulation. They were reduced to scrap metal long ago. 40 years ago, there were lots of them still around. 25 years ago, there were fewer. 10 years ago, a lot less, though still more than today. As time goes on, they become more rare. Similarly, Centric Rise slowly burns out of circulation every hour, making it increasingly scarce. How does this happen? When the price of Centric Rise increases each hour, the Centric protocol burns a small amount of Centric Rise from the total supply. Every hour, every week, every month, and every year, those Centric Rise tokens get more scarce, like the old Ford Mustang. Let's consider three questions. How will Centric Swap reach $1? Remember, we said Centric Rise burns out of circulation as the price grows. Well, as the total supply of Centric Rise decreases over time, Centric Rise's hourly growth slows down too. Eventually, supply and demand will meet, and Centric Swap will stabilize at or near $1. Once Centric Swap reaches $1, will it remain stable? When Centric Swap is trading at $1 and then drops to 98 cents, people will buy it. Why? Because it's offered at a discount from the full $1 value. As investors buy to take advantage of the sale price, the demand increases, driving the price back up to $1. When the price of Centric Swap goes up to $1.02, people holding it will sell, since the market is valuing it at more than $1. Those sales will then drive the price back down to $1. $1 is the point of equilibrium, or what's called protocol consensus. Will anyone buy Centric Swap after it reaches $1? Once we reach protocol consensus, the growth rate of Centric Rise will slow down. People will continue to buy Centric Swap so they can exchange it for Centric Rise and watch their money grow, just for holding it. To learn more about Centric's economics, we invite you to visit www.centric.com. Read the basics page, and then move to the white paper for a deeper dive. If you're already familiar with acquiring cryptocurrency, we invite you to purchase Centric Swap off of one of the many supported exchanges. You can find a list on Centric.com. Remember to convert your Centric Swap CNS to Centric Rise CNR, otherwise you'll miss out on the hourly increase. If you're new to crypto, you might prefer to buy Centric Swap with a credit card. See the Centric.com website for more information. If you have more questions about Centric, visit Centric.com and check out our growing library of free learning materials. Welcome to Centric, a global currency for the next generation.